Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you all to the 2010-2011 Q1 Buckpole Final Prize Party. We'd like to introduce your host and co-host of the Big Buckpole television show, and also hosts for tonight, Tim Hart and Mike Big Buck Hoffner.
Welcome to the Q1 Buckpole, the final prize party segment here. Tim Hart and Mike Big Buck Hoffner. We had over 1,000 people at the Soaring Eagle Casino. We had a lot of deer. The mounts were up. We gave away all kinds of great prizes. And the person that won the ATV was just like, whoa, it's a great deal, changed my life. And you know, Mike, it was just a lot of fun to see people.
Yeah, you know, it's the grand finale, and what a great event, Tim. I think everybody left happy, but I think the thing that I was just so proud of is the support that we got from the sponsors and people walking out the door with prizes, people yelling, people screaming, seeing the buck racks. It was just a great event.
Let's hear from some of the sponsors who came on stage at the Soaring Eagle. Dick Seahas is with the Capital Area QDMA, also CarQuest Auto Parts. Dick, let's talk a little bit about QDMA.
We're very proud of what Quality Deer Management Association does. One thing that we've been fighting all these years is we are not trophy managers. We manage the habitat. We manage the deer. We manage the hunters. We're 4 tiers of education throughout Michigan and through the United States. So we just finished up in Lansing at the Lansing Deer and Turkey Show. A lot of people. I did the show 7 years ago, and we were explaining what Q stood for and what D stood for and what M stood for. Now everybody knows, so it works.
Well, you know, it comes down to being stewards of the great outdoors because, you know, a lot of times people think, oh, they're just after big deer, but it's more than that. It's about wildlife habitat. It's about creating an environment so that we have a wonderful wildlife to enjoy.
Right. One of the things that we're very proud of within QDMA is their REACH program, which is basically an educational program. They have different levels of QDMA members that can go to courses and studies, understand deer biology, deer habitat, all of those things. So really we're more about education, educating the hunters so that they can be better in the woods and be better stewards of what God has given us.
And Dick, if they would like more information, where can they get more information?
Well, the best place is qdma.com. There's a lot of links that hook up locally. One thing I'd like to also mention that I just thought of, throughout the United States, you know, there's state chapters and then there's local branches within the state. The state of Michigan ranks #1 in QDMA co-ops in the entire United States. And those of you that don't know what a QDM co-op is, it's a bunch of people getting together saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. #1 in the United States with the number of co-ops, and we're #2 with the amount of branches in the state of Michigan. So we appreciate your support and your help in that area.
All right, thank you, Dick, and thanks for sponsoring. Larry, tell me a little bit about what's going on with food plots right now.
Well, we got a lot of customers that are kind of getting a little anxious with the snow melt. A lot of them are looking at the food plots and seeing how the deer have fed on them during the winter time. I know my food plot that I have on the test plots, the deer have hit them real hard. With the heavy snows, they still dug down through the snow, was getting into the sugar beets, the turnips, and the clover.
When should we start planting here in the spring?
Well, you start planning for it right now. Plan for it, draw some diagrams up of your food plot area. Try to figure out what you're wanting to plant. Create an area that the deer will like to come into. You like to plant some screen areas. Try not to plant your food plots in perfectly straight lines. Put some curves into them. The deer like to hide in those curve areas. There's a lot of things that you can do, nothing you can do wrong. You can always learn by it. Every year we keep learning more about it all the time. If you have a plot area, try to plant 3 to 4 different things. And you want to have different plants coming at different times of the year. You don't want to have everything mature early and then not have anything there when you're wanting to harvest the deer. And you also want to have something that's there for the wintertime. If you don't have the deer survive the wintertime, you're not going to have them there the next year. Also plant something early in the spring so when the does are having their fawns that they've got something out there to feed on.
Well, thank you, Larry, for being one of our sponsors and for all the great information, not just tonight, but for over the years. The Battle Creek Farm Bureau.
Thank you, Tim.
Well, first, Tim, I think we got to congratulate you and thank you for a great job that you've done. If anybody knows that puts on an event, this is a pain in the butt, and he's doing a great job. And secondly, Woods and Water News would like to congratulate everybody on their great hunting. We've got a lot of your stories, but if we haven't got your story, we sure do want to publish it. We want to publish your pictures. So go to our website, woodsandwaternews.com. You can get a hold of us there, call us, email me, whatever you got to do. We'd love to get your story. And it's great to see all these bucks and all these happy faces. And again, Tim, thanks for letting us be a part of it. You do a great job.
Well, I appreciate that very much, Tom. And, you know, a lot of people need to come up to Imlay City and attend that weekend because it's awesome. And just so you know, I was at the Lansing Deer and Turkey Spectacular today. I was videotaping. And I went, you know, by the Woods and Water booth. And I said, hey, is Tom Campbell around here or Randy? And they said, oh, no. They're in Mount Pleasant. They went there last night. It's a 2-day show. I said, yeah, yes, it is. I had your back.
Thank you,
I had your back. Tom, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hey. We'd like to thank Dick Seahas from QDMA and also CarQuest Auto Parts, along with Larry March from the Battle Creek Farm Bureau, and Tom Campbell from Woods and Water News, who's one of our media partners. At a lot of our regional parties and at the final party, we had a chance to talk to people that got their first deer, from kids to, you know, people that have been hunting for years. And you know, Mike, the biggest applause goes to the people that are showing their first deer.
I think everybody knows when you're out hunting, you know, they all take for granted that the very first time you go out you shoot a buck. Some people can wait a whole lifetime before they get it done, but I think the pitter-patter of the old heart that gets it pumping and rolling, what an exciting thrill it is to hear from a hunter who takes their very first deer.
Everybody loves first bucks.
My first deer.
His first deer. Come on now. Well, and that's your first deer, right?
Yep.
Well, this is my first buck. I've been hunting.
Hey, first buck!
This is my actual first deer ever hunting, so 12 years.
Congratulations. First deer ever. Is this your first time with a buck or not?
This is my first buck.
Is this your biggest buck so far?
It's actually my first buck.
Hey, his very first buck. Hold.
But this is my first year.
First year hunting? All right, so obviously your biggest buck? Yep. All right, give her a round of applause. First year hunting.
Yeah, first deer in about 20 years.
First deer in about 20 years. All right.
That's my first buck.
That's his first buck. Come on, now we need to give him. Yeah. We also had hunters come on stage, including Bob Eustace.
You know, I don't know what to say. I mean, how many here started because their dad took them hunting?
Yeah.
You know, I can't say enough about my dad. I know that he passed away because of lung cancer, but man, he just loved the outdoors. He was a great steward, loved to hunt and fish. So for all you dads, this one was for my dad. And I miss him dearly. I love you, Dad. And I just can't thank you enough. Q1 Buck Pole. I wish you all the best. God's been great to me and my family. He was an awesome blessing for this deer. I know my dad was with me in the stand that night I took this deer. And I just, like I said, I can't thank him enough, and I can't thank you all for showing up. This is just awesome. It's been a childhood dream of mine to come up to something like this and get a deer like this. And this is just wonderful.
Dreams come true. All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Bob was just one of the hunters that came on stage. We'll have more hunter stories coming up. But we had 9 regional parties leading up to this final party. And you know, Mike, there was a lot of humor throughout the state telling deer stories.
Yeah, I think there's nothing better than deer stories, Tim. There's always the big one that got away or that unique hunt or unique kill. And we had a lot of belly laughs.
I tried to stop him. Well,
I was hunting on the 18th, and I was sleeping, and I looked over, and it was there.
Shot it on October 29th.
Hell of a story. He's from Reading. Remember that? He is from Reading.
And he went about 40 yards, and he just ass over a tea kettle and flipped over. I'm like, man.
Ass over a tea kettle, really?
I said, well, that's probably a shooter. So
hang on. Who would think this is a shooter? Come on, man.
Okay, man.
Hang on. We got a stand-in. And up higher.
A little funky, right?
Okay, it's a non-typical.
Yeah,
I'll for you. Okay. Don't be trying to grab my... I didn't grab your rack. Come on, dude. Man. Well, hell, wait a second here. Let me...
I knew it was a buck. I said, I got to count 3 on one side. All of a sudden, I said, no, I'm not counting. I clicked my safety off, had the gun up. He stepped into my scope. The gun went off, and I went, oh. You know, and it was pretty much over.
You called your wife and said, baby, you know that other deer you were looking for? I just shot that one too. Aren't you proud?
You have ruined my Valentine's Day.
Your biggest buck?
Yep.
Get right in there and tell us.
Yes, it is. It was,
hand it to him, get the hell out of here. Good to see you, dude.
Obviously, I got beat by my sister.
That is an awesome story. I'm glad it only took an hour to do.
Well, did you drink your beer?
I loved it, man. I got a good drink on my beer is what I did.
And all of us spent about the first hour just looking at them. Not even doing nothing. No tags, no nothing. We just spent an hour looking at them trying to take pictures with our phones.
What do you think the best thing about hunting is?
Killing a nice buck.
And I'm like, Dad, I dropped his ass.
We've got more humor coming up, but right now, one of our sponsors came on stage was Ted Harpham from Dart and Archery.
You know, Ted is a great guy. Met him for the first time, Tim, and he outfitted us with bows this year. I used mine for the very first time. It was fast and dead on.
You know, one of the things I found interesting is they came to one of the smaller regional parties, and then when they came to the Soaring Eagle, they said, wow, this is a whole nother event. Here's what Ted had to say on stage.
Well, this is our 61st year at Dart and Archery. We're one of the oldest archery manufacturers in the industry, and built right here in Michigan. We're manufactured right here and assembled right here in Michigan. This is our second year with Q1 Buck Pole, and we've just enjoyed it. We enjoyed Tim inviting us out and getting involved with all the guys hunting, and obviously tremendous wall of bucks.
Well, and I tell you what, the 3,500, the 3,800 bows out there, people are shooting up a storm, aren't they?
Yeah, we've come a long ways. We put catalogs out and we tried to get them to every table so people could look at what we have. The new line of dart and bows, everybody remembers darting from the SL50 days, and most of you guys have probably hunted with a dart at some time in your life. But the new bows that we've come out with now are a line of crossbows and the new Pro 3800 and the DS series stuff, the dual sync cam series is really, really taking off.
And if people would like more information,
www.dartandarchery.com.
All right, let's give it up for Dart and Archery and for all those
Thank you very much.
bows this year. Another one of our segments that we showed at the Soaring Eagle was some of the stories where a doe gets you in trouble every time. Here's some of those stories.
Following a doe actually when I saw it, and I think it just was after the does that were in here.
After the doe will get you in trouble every time, doesn't it? It also costs a lot of money, though.
And he never slowed down. He was chasing that doe. He was in the rut. That's all I can say. You know, he had no mind.
All right, how many of you hunters out there have no mind when you're in the rut? Raise your hand. Woo, woo, I got some yelling over there, all right.
And he just came in following the does, and I shot him high in the shoulder, and he dropped right there, and I was a wreck.
Doe was just knocking the snot out of these bucks.
Now, well, you know, there's a lot of doe out there knock the snot out of all these guys, too. You know that, don't you?
Next thing I know, a doe pops out, he pops out, and I was like, game over.
One of the big prizes that we gave away that night was from Big Valley Log Works, and Aaron Kaiser, he creates these custom-made you know, gun cases, gun racks. He could put them in the corner all over the place, and it truly was a fabulous prize.
You know, he and his wife are both great people. Had a chance to spend quite a bit of time talking with him, but when I looked at his work, awesome work. The thing we got to remind people is next year when you come to the event, bring a truck with you, because hauling that gun cabinet out of there, it was a nice custom-built cabinet, and somebody walked away with a great prize.
All right, well, tell me about making these, because you make all kinds of cabinets, don't you?
Yeah, we just don't offer gun cabinets. We're all about trying to build custom pieces that have any nature, anything that you want, not something that you can just go in and buy anywhere. You know, it's just to fit everybody else's needs.
Now, can somebody just give you dimensions? They could say, listen, I got a corner of my house, and I would like to have this type of cabinet or so made.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I want to do. It's just a hobby right now. The piece that I brought today is built to fit into a corner and holds 13 guns. And like I said, anything that you can think of, that's what we want to do, custom built to your order.
All right, and so if you've got something big enough, they can take it home with them.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't have anything big enough?
We'll have to work something out.
You'll work it out with Aaron. With that, fellas, you got our winner.
All right, the winner is James Bogert the third.
Dude. This year we had a lot of women in the contest, and you know, Mike, again, getting women out there, children out there, and just people in general out hunting is the goal. And I think the fastest growing segment right now is women hunters.
Yeah, I think it's a, you know, we've proved that it's a great family event, and women are really into the sport of hunting. Not only are they into it, but they shoot some pretty nice bucks.
I just waited for him to just line up with me and shot him and double lunged him.
This is only my second year that I've been out. My first year with the crossbow. I kind of like ended up having the buck fever after I shot it than before.
It ran right to me, I shot it, and it went 30 yards and fell right dead in the swamp.
I shot him with the crossbow and he acted like he didn't even feel it.
He buck just coming out in front of me and about 50 yards away, and I shot him.
He was staring right up at me, and then I shot.
Another one of our special guests was Jimmy Gretzinger from Michigan Out of Doors TV. We appreciate all the work that he did with us this year. Here's a little bit of segments from his TV show and what Jimmy had to say at the Soaring Eagle.
Here we go! Oh, yeah! Woo!
Who did it?
I got it!
Out for the afternoon hunt, Carl was training the Liberator's crosshairs on a young deer that caught us off guard and came out of nowhere.
Okay, down a little, down a little. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Dropped her right there. Good job, Carl. Good job, buddy. Way to go, man. You got a deer, dude.
We appreciate being a part of what you're doing, and how's things going in Michigan Outdoors TV?
Things are going good. How's everybody doing out there tonight? All right. Who's seen Michigan Outdoors television before? Anybody out there? Okay, good, good.
Look at that.
Well, if you haven't seen us in a while, we are on PBS Thursday nights, and we do 52 shows a year. So we're out there, and we're all Michigan all the time. So we were kind of happy to partner with Tim this year. And, you know, obviously deer hunting in Michigan is a huge thing, and we just thought what you're doing is just a cool thing. We kind of wanted to partner up a little bit. So big thanks to Tim. And actually, some of these bucks are going to be on our big buck nights that we have coming up over the next couple of weeks. So deer hunting is good, and, you know, Michigan Outdoors has been going. Can anybody tell me who the first host of Michigan Outdoors was back in the day? Morton F., that's right. So Morton F., Jerry Geppetta, Fred Trost, Bob Garner, those of us that have come after that, we're just fortunate to be lucky. And the reason I think the show works is because it's not about me, it's about the sportsmen and women of our great state. So we want to thank you guys for all being a part of our show, and hopefully we'll see you Thursday night on your PBS station.
Well, you guys do a fabulous job there, and again, we appreciate being a part of what you're doing, and we look for bigger things and better things next year, and thanks for being a part of the Q1 Buck Poll. Jimmy Gretzinger.
Thanks, everybody.
We'd also like to thank Cabela's, who gave gift cards to the top deer for the men, women, and the youth. And Mike, we had a lot of youth hunters that brought their deer, and we encouraged them, whether it's a doe or a buck, whatever type of deer that they bring in, to get it registered in the Q1 Buck Poll. Tell your little buddies next year to get in the contest.
Yeah, they're the future of hunting, and we rewarded them kindly with some great prizes from Cabela's.
Here's some of our youth stories from our regional parties.
Look at that rack!
Okay, tell me about your hunt.
Oh, I can run it, my dad.
And I put my binoculars on him, and he's a good one. And
is it this one right here?
Yeah.
All right.
And
that would be a great one for those that have been hunting for a number of years.
I called him and I asked him, begged him if I could go the next day, and he finally let me. And
do you like hunting out there?
Yeah.
He came out and started nudging at that doe, and then I shot him, and he ran about 75 yards,
and lights out, right?
Yeah.
It was about 90 yards away, and my dad had to bleed at it 3 times for it to get in the right spot for me to shoot.
I called him up and said, I just got the big one off the trail cam photos, and he said, just a minute, I'll be right there.
He ended his hunt, didn't he?
Yeah.
See this deer walk right through the tree line, and took a shot at this deer by hunting with my grandpa.
How did your dad stop him?
He was like,
huh?
He was like, like, meh, meh.
It runs 45 yards, hits a tree, and goes 180 in the air. Lands.
Holy cow.
Just didn't move since.
And are you excited about that your mom brought this big deer home? Yeah.
Yeah? And he came up about 35, 40 yards and shot him and ran about 25 yards.
And he came right up in front of me, 70 feet away, and I shot him.
My grandpa said, well, I've been hunting for that deer for 62 years and haven't got him yet.
What do you like most about being out in the woods?
Shooting a deer.
All right. Have you shot a deer over in Burr Oak? You know you can shoot when you're 5.
Yes.
I grunted and he stopped right on the trail at 20 yards in front of me and squeezed the trigger and he dropped right there.
Well, the biggest buck that came into the contest was from the Thumb area, Kyle Bonner's 18-pointer. And you know, Mike, it was just a massive rack, really thick beams, a lot of mass, and it was just a tremendous deer.
You know, we had the buck board up behind us, Tim, and there were a lot of deer racks that were on that board, nice racks. But when he broke that rack out and he had a chance to make a comparison, what a buck. He should be so proud that he tackled that rascal in Michigan.
This is the biggest rack in the Q1 buck pool.
It was quiet. It was like misting that night, and it was real quiet. He come out about 40 yards. He popped out of the real thick brush, and he stood there for about 5 minutes feeding in the food plot, right on the edge of the food plot. And I was thinking I might have to take a shot at 40 yards, but he ended up actually walking 20 yards closer to me, and then he turned to his left and gave me a shot, and I hit him pretty good. He went about 70 yards. I could hear him crashing through the brush, and then I heard him stop. So I thought maybe he died, maybe not. Hour and a half later, we went out and tracked him. When we found him, we knew immediately. We knew it was him.
All right, Kyle Bonner, congratulations. And if you haven't had a chance to see that rack, it is really something. Now this is a new record. Slide right up.
Yeah. Lapeer County non-typical record.
Lapeer County non-typical record.
Yep.
What'd you think when you saw that deer coming in the woods?
I actually thought he was about 150 inches, actually. I didn't even know it was the one we were after. So.
And what did he green score? Or have you had it totally scored?
Yeah, officially dry score was 210 and 5/8 and netted 198.
Obviously, this is your biggest buck.
Yeah.
Have you been hunting this area for a while?
2-3 years now. Yep.
And you had all kinds of pictures, right?
Yeah, we had a trail cam photo. My brother got a trail cam photo of him about next woods to the north. And then we videotaped him this summer in a bean field. And we seen him the year before, actually, too, in the summer, but never seen him during deer season. So.
Did anybody bring you some Bud Light to celebrate?
We had a couple.
Okay, that's his first lie of the night.
Yep.
Let's give him a round of applause, our #1 buck.
Thank you.
Well, that was the biggest buck. But again, as I said earlier, we had a lot of humor from our regional parties. And you know, Mike, we had 9 different regional parties across the state. We were up in Grayling, we were in Flint, we were all the way down in Brooklyn and Adrian and Coldwater, so all over the state. And you know, it's always interesting to hear the story from the deer hunter, and sometimes it is just hilarious.
It all started about 30 years ago.
Holy crap.
And about 7:30, I woke myself up by snoring.
All of a sudden it stepped out and I seen this rack on it and I about pooped myself.
All I remember is the deer blinked his eyes and he laid his left ear back and he was wheeling and I drilled him in the jugular.
Good night!
It's so It was up close and personal. Nose to nose, eye to eye.
And I shot him in the heart and I seen him buckle and he hopped into the woods.
I had to complain the whole time we were going out there.
Who, you did or the boy?
I did, because we were running late. So, played peekaboo with him along some...
So we had some guy poop his pants tonight and another guy play peekaboo with the deer. It's kind of some weird hunting up here in the Thumb, you know that, don't you?
I shot him about 250 yards from my recliner.
I was by myself and we had a pretty good time, this buck and I had a better time.
Hang on a second. I'll tell you right now. Hang on. Katie, turn the camera off.
He had got out of the lane and I could tell he was really nervous. And I picked a little hole out.
Wait a second. How the hell could you tell that?
He was
Yeah, I could tell the deer was real nervous. Oh, please.
And liberated the hearts, went through the liver, or wait, it went...
It went through vital organs?
Oh, yeah, we had CBs. We're antique out there.
And what'd he say?
It stinks. I ended up finding the points about a month or two later when the snow melted off, and I glued it back on. It's a full rack again.
You should have said, he bent, stopped, I dropped his ass, and here he is, right?
Exactly.
All right, congratulations. Thanks for being with us. New this year was our jerky contest, and you know, Mike, it was interesting because at our regional parties, people brought a lot of jerky, and then at the final party, you know, we had kind of a preliminary round where people could bring it, and then we'll judge, and then they'll put them in the final round. And I tell you right now, I ate a lot of jerky that night.
Oh, I had a lot. Yeah, there was spicy jerky, regular jerky. I mean, I walked away, Tim, with my stomach full, but Tim Fu Manchu Brewer did a great job this year. I also had a chance to talk to some of the contestants. Some of them were bummed out that they didn't win the prize, but there's always next year.
Right, we'd like to thank High Mountain Seasonings for sponsoring the jerky contest. They gave away all kinds of variety packs of seasonings. Not only that, but they gave away a Cook Shack smoker, a $700 value. So again, Hans, thank you very much from High Mountain Seasonings. And here's the jerky winners with Tim, the Jerky Brewer.
You know, we had a great turnout here tonight. There were all kinds of people who brought jerky to the prize party tonight for our preliminary. Overall, we had probably over 50 people bring jerky to the various prize parties and to the party tonight. And I really appreciate that. And I'm sure High Mountain, our sponsor, is going to appreciate that too. In third place and winning a hamburger jerky processing thing. Maker from High Mountain Seasonings, we have Todd Cashin. In second place, winning the cutting board for jerky, James Moran. And the grand prize winner of that great smoker over there, Todd Steele. Come on up, Todd. Congratulations.
Well, coming up, we're going to announce who won the ATV with Brian Blowers from Custom Connection Motorsports. But before that, how many shots does it really take to get a deer? Here's some of our people talking about it at our regional parties. Hey, how many here have missed once or twice? Look at that, buddy. Look at that. You are in good company, sir.
I rushed a shot and missed.
Drew back, and my arrow fell to the bottom of my tree.
And after the fourth shot, I ended up hitting him, and
you know.
And I missed it, and thought I blew my chance at it.
I missed twice. Then he ran out in front of me, and I shot him again.
He was dead then. I went and kicked him, and he didn't move, so I knew he was done.
And I shot 2 more times and missed.
I touched off another shell at him, and he just sat there looking around like, what was that?
Yeah. How many shots?
Just 2.
I
took his front leg off, and then he...
and went and tackled him, grabbed him with a 100 knife. Man, you're a bad dude.
And I knew instantly I missed him.
I made a good shot. He come running right by my stand, missed him 2 more times. That about broke my heart.
He dropped him on the fourth shot.
I shot the first time, but my scope was turned up too much, so I hit a little tree in between me and him. And
I wasn't sure at that time that I even hit him the second shot.
Shot 4 more times and everything else but the deer. I don't even know why.
I actually dropped my arm or something because I shot right under that buck.
He went to finish him off, and he missed with the 5th shot.
I was able to spine him, and he dropped right there, but I put 2 more arrows in him just to make sure he didn't get up.
Phone rang. It was my brother. He said, "Who's shooting the automatic down there?" I said, "No, that was me."
I didn't have to shoot 6 or 7 times.
yeah, we ran him down, and we got him, tackled him, and doing one of them deals.
He reloaded, and his 6th shot lunged him in. That's all she wrote.
Well, if I emptied my gun, I would hope that's all she wrote too. Who won the ATV?
I know.
I know too. Brian Blowers is with us from Custom Connection Motorsports, along with Fred Smith. And you know, Mike, the person that won was Rodney Church. And let me tell you what, he, his wife, his son, his daughter-in-law, they were just ecstatic.
You know, the thing about it, that's what it's all about. It's a family event. Everybody was there to cheer him on to win, and our crowd loved it, and his family loved it too.
Here's the presentation.
Who wants this ATV? Anyone?
Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win?
What do you say, Freddie?
Freddie!
It's somebody named Rodney Church. Woo!
Hell, here he comes. Look at it. He's
Come on,
Rodney.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on.
Rodney Church.
Woo!
Holy crap.
See if your ass fits on that. Woo! It fits him like a glove.
How you like that, Rodney Church?
Rodney won an ATV. Now what are you going to do?
Going to cut.
Sweet.
Well, that's some of the segments and clips from our final party at the Soaring Eagle Casino. We'd like to thank the Soaring Eagle for all the food and hosting us. We'd like to thank all the venues across the state that participated and had our regional prize parties at, all of our sponsors. We'd like to thank you for registering your buck and your does. And I tell you what, Mike, it was just a great time.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support. Like you said, the vendors, the hunters have been fantastic this year. And Tim, we're looking for even a greater year next year if it can be topped. I hope it does, because there's some phenomenal bucks that are just around the corner.
If you've got ideas or suggestions, you can always email us at timbahart@gmail.com. You can go online and blog or put something in a forum. So we'd like to interact with you. Tell your friends and neighbors and everybody to get in the contest next year. It starts with a youth hunt in late September, along with the disabled hunters and veteran hunt that weekend. So you can start registering your deer then. And if you have comments, suggestions, ideas for shows, segments, or if you got footage from last year, Mike, we'll take it all, because we'd like to feature as many hunters from the state of Michigan as we possibly can.
And you used to concentrate in early days just on the month of November, Tim, but I'll tell you what, it's become a year-round sport, and we're excited to be here in Michigan.
Thanks for being with us all year long here on the Q1 Buck Pull. And Mike Big Buck Hoffner, I'd like to thank you, sir.
You're welcome,
You did a
sir.
fabulous job.
You're
He had a lot of kisses and hugs. And oh, I met Big Buck Hoffner at the Soaring Eagle. And so it was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a great time, Tim. And not only did I have a great time, I actually got a buck myself again this year. And I'm hoping to get even a bigger one again next year.
Once again, congratulations to Rodney Church, our ATV winner from Custom Connection Motorsports. Again, thanks to Brian Blowers and his group for being a part of our event once again. And here's to you having a successful year in 2011. Remember, whenever you're out in the woods, stay safe. I'm Tim Hart, he's Mike Big Buck Hoffner, and you've been watching the Q1 Buck Pull final prize party from the Soaring Eagle Casino.
Man. Tell them monster bucks.
Monster bucks.